Hello everybody, this is Toys and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Legacy United Doom and Destruction Decepticon Rukus figure. Now, we are going to only focus on Rukus for this video. I will do Bludgeon in another video, and then of course I'll bring all the Doom and Destruction crew together for another video as well. So of course we're going to see all of the things that he comes packaged with. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to look and see how he displays with the other two new Legacy Triggercons, as well as comparing him with the original version of himself, and having a quick look at how they've managed to tweak the mold to get him from Beachcomber to indeed that particular figure there. So as I start to move all of these out of the way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And also to thank Hasbro Pulse, because that's where this figure came from, and as you can see they got it to me nice, quickly and safely. Right, we have to first and foremost look at the packaging because it is beautiful. So we'll look at both of the artworks, to be fair, because they are stunning. That seems to be the logo they're using for this, I suppose, capsule of figures. We've got Bludgeon on the one side, so we need to spin it around, and there in fact is Rukus. We can see on the back there that he's only going to take 9 steps to transform, and as I've already said, this is a very, very clever reuse of the Beachcomber mold itself. Right, you can see there, that's how he comes packaged. That's the two accessories, because of course it's to make him look like a Triggercon. That's going to be the front, and of course there he is right there. So what I'm going to do now is set him free from there and come right back to you. I've literally just set him free from the packaging, and it's time for some first impressions. So that's how this video is going to go. First impressions first, then we're going to look at the alternate mode, and then we'll come back for the final time in the robot mode, because let's be honest, this might not be how he's supposed to display. And of course we want to then do all of them all important comparisons. So it looks like the arms are pretty much stuck, or yeah, they are, they're tabbed in under there. The feet and legs are definitely tabbed together as well. And I think that's pretty much it. As I said, I've set these free from the packaging. We're going to have a look at these all attached later on. First impressions though, I can't believe that this is the Beachcomber mold. From the front, it's so clever. The color scheme is absolutely striking. It looks brilliant. The head sculpt again as well is lovely. It does have articulation. Will it go all the way around? I think it will. Yes, it will. It'll go all the way around if you want it to. It does get slightly hindered by this back part, which is all molded on. So, and it can, that surprised me, it can look up and down, but not very far. We've got joints on the shoulders, which you can nearly get the full T, but the tires just slightly get him in the way. You can spin it all the way around, but you've got to, of course, just maneuver it, again, just out of the way so it doesn't catch. You've got a shoulder swivel, a bicep flexion, and the wrists, do they swivel? No, I think they might do. Yes, they do, but it is quite difficult, and you can, and I know that people are going to pick this up, so I'm going to show it to you. They do have hollow forearms, which is a bit of a shame, because to be honest, it's not to fold the fist in, so that is, as I say, just a little bit of a shame. Lovely detail on the front of the chest. That actually looks like a sticker, it's that good. The waist does rotate all the way around, completely unrestricted. The hips will go all the way out to the side, even with all this kibble. In fact, yeah, they'll go past, so you can go past the point of the splits either way. I think looking at this, let's have a look. Yes, you can, so you can hyperextend and past the point of the splits on them all. There is a thigh cut, thigh swivel, there is a knee bend, and there's an ankle tilt, rock, heel maneuver, everything. So that, as I say, is pretty much first impressions. I imagine that these are going to attach there, but I'll show you that, as I say, in the last part. And we all know that this is going to double up as the front of the buggy as well. But as far as first impressions go, I'm stunned by how good this looks already. Right, let's have a look at his alternate mode. Here we are then, we're with the alternate mode. Quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. That's for a couple of reasons. The primary one is to keep the length of the video down, but the other is because I've uploaded it as a tutorial. So even though this is quite simple with this particular mold, there's a couple of little tricky things, and again, I want it to be that. I want it to be a tutorial, I want it to be a reference point, and indeed a bit of reassurance for yourselves, just in case you're struggling with it one day yourself. Alternate mode, stunning. Can't get over how good this is, to be fair, especially of course because it's come from this particular mold here. Now, I haven't attached any of the accessories yet. I just want you to have a quick look at it. It just looks like a little bit bigger as well in every sort of aspect. Now, the main thing that's different is, of course, if you remember with this figure, you had to extend and I suppose just telescope out the midsection there, which covered the head, whereas with this, there's none of that at all. It's a solid block of plastic, which means that unless you spin the head around, you will have visible head syndrome. So again, from the underside, you can pretty much tell exactly what it is, apart from this guy's got longer arms, and indeed I suppose that just puts him more in proportion with the rest of the figure. But I mean, look at that. And yes, he does have rubber tires as well, by the way. If I bring in the accessories first and foremost, now if you wanted to, you could attach this on the gun, sorry, on the roof as a gun, but then of course it makes the front look a little bit empty, which of course it is. You've got a cutout there and all these tabs, and exactly the same as Beachcomber, this will line up and push into there like so. And then this is it's genius, but it's just not quite there for me. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to show you in a second. This is the original though. Look at the homage. Unfortunately the stickers on these are a bit faded, but look at the homage. Stickers are perfect. That molding detail matches the stickers there. The color schemes are great, the windows are great, and to be fair, the transformation process is pretty much exactly the same as this. But what it is missing, and it is a tiny little gimmick, and it would have been so good if they'd have perhaps been able to put it in, these are the trigger guns. Oh no, right, that's it. You can just move these up. It's the problem with it in a brand new toy. Let's pop that in there. The same on this side, pop this in there. And what this does, it'll fit. You can use these again as weapons, as guns. You can pretend that they're firing, etc. As far as I'm aware, in fact, I'm pretty sure they're going to be. Yes, they are. They're blast effect compatible, which is brilliant, which you can see there. But if this is being super negative, and if you didn't know about the original gimmick, then this wouldn't bother you at all. So that's how they sit right there. And all it's missing, oh, let's get it flat. All it's missing, guys, is this. Watch. Boom. That's why he was called the trigger con, because in robot mode this would come from the back and fire over the back there, but with this you're going to have to do it manually. It's not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. Again, it's today's modern figures. You don't really tend to get many gimmicks nowadays, but I'm still really enjoying it. Right, let's give you an idea, I suppose, of some size. I've got some random comparisons here. There we go. I've got the Back to the Future DeLorean. I've got another Jeep going on there, so I wanted to bring that in. Let's bring in some of the most popular or common ones. There, of course, is TF1 Optimus. There is soon to be replaced industry standard Earthrise Prime, randomly enough, just because he's here, and this always gives you sort of hints into the figures that I'm actually reviewing or about to review. There's a G1 Bumblebee, which you can see is tiny compared to this particular figure. And if I just bring one more up quite quickly, that is the Classics Goldbug figure. It's Classics Bumblebee mold, but this is the Goldbug Takara version. Right, guys, there really isn't anything more to say about the alternate mode. It is very cool. I did have a go very quickly at trying to attach these on there, and you can't, but you've got all these 5mm posts everywhere else. So if you wanted to take some of the weapons off some of the other Doom and Destruction guys, then you could do that. Yeah, relatively easy, no issues whatsoever, and you can power up your buggy like so. But there you go, that's all there is to say about this particular mode. Let's get him back into his robot mode, and let's have a look at him with his accessories and do, of course, some of them all important comparisons. Right, final part of the video then, I think the bits everybody wants to see is how good he looks with his accessories and how he looks compared to other figures. So once again, I've took the accessories off, and let's have a look at, or have a go at reattaching these. In fact, before we do that though, I need to show you the fact that yes, you can use these as normal weapons, normal blasters. You could even attach this to the forearms. You've got like a completely powered up mode there. And again, of course, what I showed you with the with Chop Shop's accessories, you can do exactly the same. If you wanted to, you could start to attach them there, ready to fire him up. I love doing silly things like this, just going off the cuff, because at the end of the day, as I say, it's a kid's toy. You could attach that there, and that's, of course, that's what these are supposed to be as well. Even though I'd probably strongly argue that this particular toy line isn't aimed at kids, with it being, as I say, huge homages to quite obscure G1 characters. Right, I'm going to pop that into his hand, and I say quite obscure, but let's be honest, how many people who are under the age of 20 watching this video, drop me a comment if you knew who the trigger cons were, or in fact if you knew who the trigger cons were before they did a crankcase figure. That's probably better, because of course crankcase gave it all away completely. Look how good that looks now. That's brilliant. There you go. I'm so pleased with how he's come out, because again, I'm pretty sure he is the first mainline version of the original figure that we've had, so they've done an incredible job with that. Let's bring in, just very quickly, I'm going to do loads of comparisons, guys, don't worry. I'm going to bring in the deluxe ones first and foremost. Now, of course, with this, none of these have actually got the what's it called, the TriggerCon actual gimmick, unfortunately. They've just got, for instance, he's just got the little accessories like so, which are supposed to be his partners, whereas of course the original one, again, I've shown you in the video, his flipped out as well, because again, it was a TriggerCon. We're going to bring that in a second. I'm also going to bring in crankcase and of course beachcomber as well. So yeah, here we go. There is crankcase, and of course he had these little, they look like little nubbins, to be fair. They weren't really proper sort of TriggerCons, but look at that, guys. That's just quite a sight to behold, as I say, in honesty. It's probably one of them things that you think, will we ever see this? Will we ever see it sort of happening? And if I bring in the G1 originals, as I say, there's all separate videos as well for these guys on this particular channel. And there is your Rukus figure as well. I mean, look at that. I'm going to bring it in a bit more detail, but that's just one of the best, I suppose, I'm not going to say one of the best shots as in it's because I've done it, but just one of the best things I've seen in such a long time. Let's move the originals out of the way for now, and indeed some of the newer ones, because what I need to do very quickly, I'm just going to bring him in. So again, you can see it's just exactly the same. Fold the legs out, fold the arms out. It is such a shame that they are just missing this. Oh, let's keep that up there. And then, of course, there you go. This fires over, and there you go. There's your weapons coming over the top. Just exactly that. Just what, 35 years worth of improvement in engineering and stuff, even down to the face sculpt. You can see they've got the bit of yellow. This one's a little bit sun faded, to be fair. Let's bring in beachcomber so you can see just how much bigger this is. And again, I think that's so clever. So clever how they've managed to do that. They look like completely different figures, you know. Unless you knew, you'd be looking at that thinking, I've not got a clue how they've done that. Let's move him out of the way. Let's do a couple of the main height comparisons quickly then. G1 Optimus, Studio Series Optimus, like so. Just keep changing these around. Earthrise, as I say, soon to be replaced randomly, just because he's here. Let's do concept art Megatron. He looks pretty good with them, though, let's be honest. All the Decepticons together do look good. So whereas Beachcomber was quite a small deluxe, you can see now that this guy is much bigger than the core class figures. And I think there's only just, what else should we do? Let's bring in just a couple more of the Doom and Destruction. I'm of course going to do a full collated video very soon. I think the last one that I'm going to bring in, as I say, because he is part of the Doom and Destruction, just for this video anyway. There we go, guys. I've got nothing more to say about this figure. It's completely blown me away. It's way better than I thought it would be, and you can probably tell that I really like it. I want you to let me know what you think in the comments, though, and of course, Bludgeon video is coming up very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.